Hey there, welcome to my Atmos system. I'm about to fire up Kiss Destroyer in streaming Atmos, and so I wanted to take just a quick second to give a little bit of an update on my Atmos system because I've been promising to do that for quite some time. Right now, I'm running a Sony X800 Blu-ray player, which serves most of my needs in terms of physical media. I'm running a Denon X6400H, which is doing my Atmos, my RO3D processing, and now I am off-boarding the power to two Emotiva amps. One is a 5-channel amp, and that is powering my ground mix, those 5 main ear level channels. And then I have an 8-channel amp that is powering the rest of the speakers. Now you're thinking there are only 6 remaining speakers. And so what I've done is I have bridged 2 of the channels into twice as powerful channels. And those are running my surround backs because they require a bit more frequency response. And the remaining 4 channels are running my 4 height speakers. I also have switched to floor standing towers for my front, left, and right. As my son gets older and can be more responsible with music gear, I'm slowly integrating different and, in my opinion, upgraded or better components into my Atmos system. So soon I'll be opening up the room a bit more and going for a bit better speaker placements. But I want to tell you that whatever your situation, if you need to compromise with speaker sizes or with speaker locations, with the kind of AVR that you use or with the kind of power that you're running, these are Class A, B, and they have ultra low distortion. But if you're running Class D power, my credo is just enjoy the music. If the music sounds good enough to you and you're enjoying yourself, then that's really what counts. And also sharing that joy with others, because life isn't just a selfish thing. I do think that music has an inherent value in being enjoyed, but also in being shared, bringing joy to others. So I just wanted to give a quick tour of my system. I'm about to blast Destroyer by Kiss, and this is a perfect example of why I'm excited about streaming Atmos at well over $100, no matter what deal you try to find. The physical Destroyer 45th Anniversary Deluxe set is just too pricey for me. I did not grow up during Kiss's heyday. I'm a child of 90s music, if you will, and I just can't see dropping that kind of money on the set just to get the Atmos mix. This is a Steven Wilson Atmos mix. I'm sure it's going to be awesome. I will report back. But I get to stream it, and that is lossy instead of lossless, but it really does give me the majority of what I'm looking for in my immersive experience. I sure wish that they would bring the price of the set down, like Guns N' Roses eventually did for Appetite, or even just offer up like a standalone Blu-ray of the album. I would love to support any mix that Steven Wilson does, particularly these new Atmos mixes. He did a great job on Gentle Giant's Freehand, and I just have full confidence that he's going to just nail this mix. And I only wish I could hear it losslessly instead of lossily. So, it's a good problem to have. I use Apple Music for a lot of other titles, and so it's really a fixed cost for me, and I get to hear an immersive album that I otherwise wouldn't. So without further ado, I'm going to go fire up the album, and then I'll be back to give a quick review of Destroyer in Atmos. Alright, so Kiss Destroyer in streaming Atmos. First of all, I find the bottom end to be a little bit lacking. By the time I turned up my system to really thunder on the bottom end, I found the top end to be a little overwhelming just with all the Atmos activity. And then when the album concluded and the very next track in the Apple playlist, the 45th anniversary playlist came on, which is one of the demos, all of a sudden the bottom end was like thundering, just how I would hope Kiss would. And the high end wasn't too much. It was just a rousing, raucous experience. And so I'm wondering if things just got spread out like a little too much, like that kick drum and that bass guitar needed to be centralized a little bit more. But other than that, you get main vocals up front, you get main piano accompaniment up front, you get drums mainly up front, and you get rhythm guitars in the surrounds in the rear of the room, the surrounds in the Atmos heights. You get all kinds of guitar overdubs, sound effects, vocal overdubs in the Atmos and in the surrounds. Sound effects are a real treat on this album. The Atmos is utilized exquisitely, especially in Detroit Rock City, when you get radio sounds, news chatter, you get automobile sounds, doors and ignition and engine and driving sounds, and then eventually at the end, a car crash. One thing that I think the streaming experience lacks is gapless playback. So far, if songs have gaps between, you're going to hear the gap. And so that is apparent between Detroit Rock City and the next song. I would say that the Atmos is demonstrated particularly well during Detroit Rock City and also Beth, where you have main vocal up front with piano accompaniment and then the orchestra just filling the entire rest of the room. It is a really nice experience. Now, I'd be curious to know if any of you have the Blu-ray and the capability of streaming Atmos, if you can tell if the bottom end is more satisfying on the Blu-ray. That sounded a bit suggestive, and that wasn't my intent. But, given that this is a Kiss record, maybe it's befitting. So, in any case, I've been able to experience Destroyer in immersive, and it kind of confirms for me this is a fun rock album, and it was worth my while to sit down and listen. I would be probably suffering from some sticker shock if I had paid, $100+ for the deluxe set. And I'm glad I've been able to experience the mix via streaming. There are times when I like a streaming album so much that I would definitely be willing to pick up the physical counterpart, such as when the Beatles released Let It Be as an Atmos single. I was sucked in so much by that immersive experience that I, without hesitation, went and picked up the deluxe set, even though it was fairly pricey. So, streaming immersive can be effective. I'm not sure what exactly is going on with Destroyer, if Mr. Wilson just chose to make the bottom end a little bit more diffuse, perhaps than I would prefer. But I want to know, do you love the streaming Atmos version of Destroyer? Do you like the Blu-ray? Do you like it more? Do you like it less? Give me your thoughts on the history of Kiss. I'm not a Kiss historian, and other than some of their songs that have made it to movie soundtracks and Kiss Alive, of course, I'm just not deeply acquainted with their work. And so leave your comments. I want to know what Kiss means to you. I want to know what Destroyer means to you. I want to know how you're doing with streaming Atmos, with Blu-ray Atmos. Streaming Atmos is such a hot topic. I get so many questions on it that it will be my next project to do just a basic how-to and an FAQ of streaming in Atmos. I get questions every day, multiple times a day. So given that, streaming Atmos allowed me to enjoy Kiss Destroyer and to basically get on with my life. I do see value in it, and often it is just a fully enjoyable experience in and of itself. There are so many albums that only exist in streaming Atmos in terms of their surround or their immersive versions. And so, it is an important technology, and so I'm going to be doing just a rundown on how to accomplish it if you have questions. So I appreciate you watching. I appreciate your comments. Please don't forget to like this video, subscribe, ring the notification bell if you haven't, and share the video. It all helps the health of this channel, and the point of this channel is to spread the enjoyment and the love of music from person to person, and just to add more meaning to our lives while we are here to live life in surround.